Now, she's a musician with a message. Syrian-American artist Mona Haydar raps about Islam, her decision to wear the hijab, and racism in the US, among a host of other polarizing issues. And while some have praised her efforts, others have attacked her, calling her even a mouthpiece for the Islamic State Group. Mona joins us from New York City today. Thank you so much for speaking to us here on Middle East Matters. Now, being Arab is a huge part of your identity, despite the fact that you actually grew up in the US.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm the daughter of immigrants, very proud to be Syrian-American, very proud of my roots, very connected to my people. And, you know, like growing up, one of the first songs that ever meant something to me was Kulthum's Al-Qalb Ya'shaq Kulla Jameel. So, like, you know, I grew up in the culture. It's a part of my DNA, you know. It is my DNA. It's in my blood.
So how would you say that the conflict in Syria has impacted your life? Because you are, of course, in the US.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I have a lot of privilege, and I have to use that privilege to shed light on the crisis. And so, you know, like one of the ways it's affected my life is a very privileged way that I haven't been able to take my family, my 2 children who are half Syrian, to Syria because of the crisis. And you know, I would love to take my husband someday, and we've been together 5+ years, and you know, it's just such a tragedy that this crisis has been going on this long. You know, I have family who's been deeply affected by the situation there on the ground, and you know, it's a cause for great sorrow in my heart.
Of course, and you do speak about that in your songs. Now, I want to talk about one song in particular, Hijabi, which supports the right to wear hijab, and that went viral in 2017. Let's listen to a clip of that song.
All around the world, love women every shade and be so liberated. All around the world, love women every shade and power run deep. So even if you hate it, I still rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab. Keep swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab. Swagging my hijab. I still rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab, rap my hijab. Keep swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab, swagging my hijab, swagging.
Now, the hijab is a massively divisive topic here in Europe. Some believe it's a medieval garment. It's designed by men, imposed upon women. Interestingly, this is also something that's debated inside your own home. Tell us about that.
Yeah, you know, I grew up, I decided to wear hijab on my bike in Flint, Michigan as a young girl, 11 years old. Nobody told me to wear hijab. Nobody even asked me if I wanted to. I decided one day that I was ready. Something inside of me called me to that. And, you know, like being a woman who's married, I'm married to a man, and in our relationship, you know, he's a beautiful white American man, and you know, there are moments, especially after tragedies, where he would feel safer if I didn't wear hijab. You know, that hijab makes me a mark for people who have hatred in their hearts, people who are bigots, people who would perform violence upon a woman's body simply because of what she chooses to wear. And for me, hijab is a political act saying that, you know, that I won't live my life according to what men want me to do or want me to look like. My body is not here for the male gaze. And it's a spiritual practice for me as well, to let me know that every day I walk out of my house that I'm not just this body. I'm so much more. I'm a mind, I'm a heart, I'm an intellect, and I'm a being of so much greater value than simply my hair or my body. For me, it's a feminist act, you know?
Looking beyond the hijab, which you've just been talking about, you've previously taken part in various initiatives to teach people about Islam, because, of course, there are many misconceptions about this religion. Tell us about Ask a Muslim briefly.
Yeah, so, you know, it was a very difficult time, actually. It was right after the Paris attacks and the San Bernardino shootings here in the States. And you know, my husband and I were just faced with great sorrow in our hearts. And he, especially for the first time being a new Muslim, felt like he had to do something. He had to say something to to replace some of that terror and trauma with love if we possibly could. And so he went out and had this idea to go out on the streets with coffee and donuts and flowers and just share in dialogue with people in conversation. And what we found that it was deeply transformative, that people were very open and receptive to having dialogue. People who maybe even had slight feelings of Islamophobia or racism, they were willing to come up and talk to us and to work through that with genuine curiosity. So in all, it was a very successful project.
Now, I want to end with your EP that was released on November the 1st and the message that it carries.
Yeah, you know, the EP Barbarican is out now, and it's just a celebration and a celebration of wholeness, of all people of color saying that we are beautiful, we are valuable just the way we are. We're Barbaricans.
Mona Haydar, thank you so much for joining us on this week's show. We're going to leave our viewers with a clip of your song, Barbarian. Thank you for watching.
We them barbarians, beautiful and scaring them, earth shaking, rattling, be wild out loud again. We them barbarians, jasmine and frankincense, feminine invading them, beautiful barbarians.